Okay, boys and girls, it's time for me to make another video. Had other plans tonight, but they fell through, so I figured what the hey. Now, this time of year in Oregon, early July till about mid to late August, depending upon the variety of what we're picking, we have more than sufficient amounts of these. Yep, blackberries. They grow everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. And they grow in quite an abundance. Very tasty. Really great in pies, jams, or just smoosh them up, add a little sugar, and put them over some ice cream. They're really good that way. But they do literally grow everywhere. They take over everything if you don't keep up on them. They've pretty much gotten my greenhouse covered at this end. And this is literally right off my back porch. So what I'll do is I'll pick about 9 cups. That's enough to make a batch of jam. And then I'll see you guys in the kitchen. Okay, now I'm in the kitchen. There's my 9 cups of berries. You know, you only should need about 8 cups because you're going to smash them down. You don't leave them whole. You smash them down, and then you're only going to use 4 cups of it. So if there's any left over, blackberry milkshake tonight. We'll see. I've made so much jam, I already know I'm only going to need 5. And these have already been cleaned and washed and sterilized. I'm going to need 5 pint jars. I've got them in hot water to where they stay warm. So when I go to put the jam in it, they won't shatter out. Berries. Sugar. I'm going to use 7 cups of sugar. And then you're going to need some pectin. And there's 2 kinds of pectin. There's a liquid pectin, which is technically Surdo, made by Surgel. And then there's the powdered pectin, which is Surgel. Just plain Surgel. And this box typically comes with 2 packets. And depending upon what you're going to be making jam-wise or jelly-wise, depends on if you're going to use 1 packet or 2 packets. With blackberries, they already have some pectin in them, so you only need 1 packet. So I opened it up, took 1 packet out. I'll put the other one off to the side for later use. Now, you'll also need 1 cup measuring cup, a jar funnel, a ladle, mixing spoon, and a pot. You're going to want a pot large enough to where it'll fit everything in it, both the sugar and the juice, or the smashed berries in this case. Because if it's not big enough, you're going to have a boil over. It's going to be one hell of a mess to have to clean up. There's my lids already in their hot water. Like I've told you in previous videos, never boil your lids. Just put boiling water over your lids and then let them sit. And then, of course, my pressure chamber, I only use it as a hot water bath for this. Because, of course, it's a fruit. So it's high enough in acid I don't have to pressure cook it. And what we'll do, now here's the thing about pectin. If you use the liquid pectin, you mix your 4 cups of your berries, smashed berries, and your 7 cups of sugar, and then you put it in the pot. You bring it to a rolling boil, boil it for 1 minute, and then you add your pectin, bring it back to the boil it for 1 minute, and then it's time to jar it. Now, if you use your powdered pectin, you mix your pectin with your berries first, you bring that to the boil, then you add all your sugar at once, and then bring it back up to a good hard rolling boil, one that you can't mix down, and let it boil for 1 minute, and then you turn it off, get it into the jars, get it ready for the hot water bath. And since today I'm using the liquid, I'll be adding the sugar and the berries together before I boil, before I take and put them in the pan. So another thing, you want to make sure that your hot water bath is already on and ready to go before your jam is. Otherwise, you're going to wait forever, and there's no reason for that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to smash these berries. Now, let's take this ring off. Get off. Okay. Now, you can smash it with a potato smasher or what have you. You can use gloves. I don't care about getting stained on my hands. I'll wash it off easily enough. Okay, this is boiling, so I can turn that down. Now, with your cooking utensils, if you're using a wooden spoon, make sure that you have a spoon that you specifically use for your, like, Blackberry Jam, Blueberry Jam, any of that stuff, because it will stain your spoons purple. So, here's this. Enough of that crap. Alrighty, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to start. You just grab them and smush them, or get your hand in there. You know, you got a boss that's an asshole, punch him. You got an ex-old lady that's just a mega bitch. Well, don't punch her, punch your berries. You don't touch women. So, but let's get in here and get these good and mushed. It doesn't take long with blackberries because they're not as delicate as a salmon berry or a catata or something like that, but it don't take long, you know. And you want to take and have good ripe fruit, probably about 95% of good ripe fruit and about 5% of what's almost ripe. You don't want unripe fruit, and you don't want spoiled fruit. You know, if they're starting to dry out on the vine, leave them on the vine. Let them dry out there. Alrighty. See, just that quick. It's not rocket science, folks. Look. See, that's going to make some really good jam. Pull this over here. Oh, crap. Yeah, screw it. I'll move this over here for now. That way I can rinse it off my hand. See, you get it off fast enough, you don't even stain your hands. Easy cheesy, nice and pleasy. Alright, come back and grab this. There's our slurry. And like I said, I only need 4 cups of this. So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's technically 4, but I'll go ahead and give it just a smidge more, just a smidge over, because some of these will cook down anywho when they're cooking. Alright, see, blackberry shakes. Put that over there. Now I get to play with this. I'm gonna move all this crap out of the way. I don't need this yet either. Alright. Now, here's my sugar. I need 7 cups. So, and because that other one's so screwed up with the blackberries all over it, I'll just grab another cup. I want 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I know you're thinking, God, that's a lot of sugar. And yeah, it is, but who cares, right? We only live once. Now, a thing to keep in mind is when you're using pectin and such. Oh. Good enough. Okay. When you're using pectin, unless you use low sugar or no sugar pectin, you need to use the amount of sugar that it tells you to do. Otherwise, you're going to have set failures. You're not going to have jam. You're going to have pancake syrup or something like that. But see, here's all there is to that. Now, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to put it in the pan, and I'll get back to you whenever it starts to boil up. So, see you in a minute. Okay, we're up to the stage where it's a rolling boil. You can see it's boiling. Even when I'm stirring, it will not boil down. Ooh, it's really going to go. So, 1 minute. Stirring constantly at the full rolling boil. I think I'm screwed. Turn down. Please don't. Ah, you sunken ditch. Look at there, boys and girls. I done fucked it up. Stop mixing. Look at there. See, this is what I warned you about in the beginning. Now I get to take and play with cleaning it up once it cools off. Shut up, dog! Alrighty. But it's a good rolling boil. And when it's doing this, during this minute, you got to take and mix constantly. That way the heat goes all the way through, no matter what. And there'll be some foam when you're done. Now, if you don't want it to foam so much, you can add a half a tablespoon of margarine or such. And that will work fine. Alright, now it's been doing that for a minute. Now we'll add in our Surdo, our liquid pectin. Get it all. You can see it brought it back down to where it's not boiling now. And that's because the Surdo, of course, is not at a boiling point. But it's still hot. Trust me on that. Alright, good enough. Now, we mix in the Surdo. Mix it well. And we'll bring her back up to the boil again. Which should not take long at all. And once we get it back up to the rolling boil again, that's another minute of stirring constantly. And then we'll be ready for the jars. And chances are, because it boiled over, I won't have enough to do 5 jars. I'll have 4 and a partial. The partial I'll just put in the jar, let it cool off, throw it in the fridge, and we'll eat that first. Why not? Alrighty. Let's turn it up a little bit. Get some fire under it. That's the beauty of a gas range. As soon as you turn it up, you get fire up. You don't have to wait for those stupid coils to heat up. See, it's still boiling, but barely. You got to have a rolling boil to where it won't. Okay, now we're up to a rolling boil now. So, slap the minute timer on. Oh, it smells good. Even the stuff that's burning on the stove top. Oh, I better turn that sunken ditch down, or I'm going to do it again. And keep in mind, this jam is excruciatingly hot right now. So, you got to be careful so you don't get burnt. Because it will burn the living bejesus out of you. Alrighty. 25 seconds. Takes its sweet time, I'm telling you. Okay. Almost done. Alrighty. Turn off the stove. Turn off that annoyance. Move this over to here. Poo. Look at all that. That's not that much. I might have gotten lucky. But of course now I got a sticky spoon. Let's take that out of there. Now you can see the foam. If you don't like the foam, scrape it off. Otherwise, no harm, no foul. I just move it to one side. And I'll pull from the other. There's that. Alrighty. I'm going to fill the jars. And I'll show you how I did that when I'm on my last one. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm down to probably my last jar. I know I'll have extra, but I'm not going to waste a 5th jar when I know I won't be able to fill it. You just take your ladle and get it out here. And you fill it up until you're about, you can go up as far as 1/4 of an inch from the top of the jar. And I usually run about a 1/2 inch. I'll dirty the jar anyways because I don't care. I just won't use a new lid on it. But and you'll see as this cools off in your pan, it'll start gelling on you right away. And that's the beauty of this. You know what? You suck. Get out of here. Alright. Let's just take this and do it this way. Good enough. Yeah, see, I'm a half jar shy. But that's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. I'll just run it over here. Put it down here. Move this out of the way. Okay, that side's hot. It's sticky as hell. Alrighty. Now, when you go to do your lids, first, you wipe down all of the tops of the lids to where you don't have anything on them. Because if there is, there's a chance that you will you won't have a seal on your lid. You grab one of these, you put her on there. I've already taken care of those lids. Put this on. There we go. And then you only want to do them finger tight, because if you do them any tighter than that, when it comes time to take these rings off, you're going to need an MMA fighter in your house, because they're the only ones going to be strong enough to pull these suckers off. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to tell you another thing we're going to need. This. This is what we will lower the jars down into whenever it comes time to put them in the water bath, which will be as soon as we get done with this. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, got them done. Got a hot water bath boiling. I turned it down so it won't boil so hard. You don't want a super hard boil. You just want a nice soft boil. Another thing is when you put these in here, you want at least 1 inch or more water above the jar tops. Typically 1 to 2 inches will do you just fine. If you don't have enough hot water, you're going to have to add more and wait for it to come up to a boil before you can start the timer. This here I got right at about 1 inch. Turn it back up. Oh, that sugary mess that overflowed is starting to burn and it stinks. Way to go, jackass. But okay, it's boiling now. If it's jelly, you hot water bath it for 5 minutes. But this is jam, so we're gonna hot water bath it for 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes from now, I'll be yanking these out and we'll be done. It's just that simple. And each time I turn the camera off was for no more than a minute and a half at the very most. So you can see, without doing a video, you can do one of these batches in a half hour very easy. I'll see you when it comes time to take it out. Okay, boys and girls, it's been 10 minutes, so you can tell by that extremely annoying sound. So now what I'll do is I will pull these out of here. And like I've said before, always under a towel. Never straight onto your counter. If you got a stone countertop, be it granite, quartz, marble, tile, those will all blow your shit apart. And it'll make a hell of a mess. And this stuff is so hot, you do not want to get burned. And this will burn the holy bejesus out of you. Now, it's only been 10 minutes. And as you can see, I still got the pan here that I cooked it in. And you can see there's nothing running in that pan. So here's the beauty part of the video. You get yourself a spoon, and you get to taste test this stuff before anybody else does. That way, if it's really good, you don't have to share with them, you know. Put my cigarette over here, because I don't care. Okay. Yep. That's blackberry, alright. But you can see it's just, it stands up nice, which means it'll stand up nice on a biscuit, or crumpet, or scone, or whatever you people want to eat. So, well, there it is. As you can see, I've already started cleaning shit. Might as well. If you don't do it, you'll piss off the wife. Now, to get this stuff out of there, all you gotta do is put hot water on it. Hot water will melt down that pectin again. And you can see here's that handle right there is all sorts of fucked up. You just get that hot water on there. And if, you know, one of these days I'm going to start using a GoPro so I have both my hands. And all I'd be able to have to do is use one of my brushes. And this would already be clean. But what's nice is, like I said, now that it's hot water, it'll just melt it down. It'll come right off. So, hopefully you learned anything today other than that, well, I cuss and smoke. And I pick my own crap and I do my own stunts. So, alright, there we go. Now I'll just be sitting here waiting for the 4 pings. And then I can put them in the storage. So, you guys have a great day. And I'm now going to go play on Facebook. Later.